No one does it well. Special excellence.
Seven leadership principles you can learn from an eagle. 1. Eagles fly alone and at high altitudes. Stay away from narrow-minded people, those that bring you down, and keep good company. 2. Eagles have an accurate vision. Have a vision and remain focused regardless of the obstacles, and you will succeed. 3. Eagles do not eat their things. They feed only on fresh prey. Do not rely on your past accomplishments. Keep looking for new frontiers to conquer. 4. Eagles love the storm. Achievers are not afraid of challenges. Rather, they release them and use them profitably.
On the news tonight, federal government lifts ban on exportation of processed food. Lagos State gathers modalities to curb gridlock ahead of President Buhari's visit. Plus, latest in entertainment and sports. Good evening. You're welcome to the news at 7. I am Ntami Egbe. Now the news in detail. The federal government has pronounced a conditional lifting of ban on exportation of processed wood and charcoal. Minister of Environment, Mohammed Abdullahi, says this follows assurance by representatives of exporters and other major actors to curb deforestation and adopt sustainable measures. Joseph Hudson reports that the ministry made this pronouncement at a stakeholders consultative meeting in Abuja. Joseph Hudson reports.
The Nigerian Conservative Foundation in 2020 reported that Nigeria has lost 96% of its original forest due to deforestation. Much of this is attributed to felling of trees for exportation.
That's why the global community, they are very concerned about global warming.
Ban on exportation of wood and charcoal in 2018 and setting up of a ministerial joint task force on export of processed wood and other allied products made up of exporters, security agencies, regulators and environmental experts are measures taken by the federal government to nip the trend.
That is, if you take one tree, you are expected to plant 3.
After a series of engagements, the task force believes that the ban has little impact due to illegal activities, suggesting better collaboration by major actors.
Commitments to abide by sustainable standards. I hereby pronounce the conditional list of ban
Going forward, we would like to have a situation whereby there is a detailed documentation of all our reforestation efforts so that it is at par with the National Timber Legality Standard and the Charcoal Export Guidelines to show we are complying.
This will be a message for our members to cooperate with the government.
The renewed commitment by these stakeholders to fight illegal export and adopt more sustainable measures of afforestation has given the government hope for a secure environment as it seeks to profit more from its forests. In Abuja, Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
The Minister of Police Affairs, Mohammed Magari Dingyadi notes with concern a misrepresentation of his response on the tenure of the Inspector General of Police by some sections of the media after the Federal Executive Council meeting on Wednesday. A statement from the Office of the Minister explains that IGP Usman Al-Talibaba was appointed by President Muhammadu Buhari on April 6, 2021 and confirmed by the Nigeria Police Council for a single tenure of 4 years as provided for in and Section 7, Subsection 6 of the Police Act 2020, which amongst other states that the person appointed to the office of the Inspector General of Police shall hold office for 4 years. The statement states that these provisions of the 2020 Police Act as amended should not be misconstrued for tenure extension as erroneously reported. Limited traffic restrictions will be put in place ahead of the 2-day working visit by President Muhammadu Buhari to Lagos State on Monday, January 23rd this year. This was disclosed by the Lagos State Executive Council led by the Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Benga Omotoso, at a media interactive forum in Lagos. Musa Toliat has details.
Ahead of the 2-day working visit by President Muhammadu Buhari to Lagos State, starting from Monday, 23rd January, the Commissioner for Information and Strategy, Benga Omotoso, says there is need to intimate with the programs lined up by the government to help them plan their movements around the metropolis. 5 projects completed by the state government will be inaugurated by President Buhari's visit. The projects include Lekki Deep Sea Port, 32 metric tons capacity rice mill in Imota, 6-lane rigid pavement Eleko-Ekpe Expressway, JK Rando Center for Yoruba Culture and History, as well as the first phase of the Blue Line Rail System.
Next week's visit by President Muhammadu Buhari will be one with a difference. It is a visit where Mr. President will again see the beauty of Lagos and take the opportunity to see firsthand and commission the life-changing and people-oriented projects undertaken by the Biden Olusola Sanwo-Olu administration.
Commissioner for Transportation, Frederick Oladende, shed more light on traffic restrictions put in place. The Lagos State Executive Council members therefore urged residents to cooperate with law enforcement agencies and traffic management officials to ensure free flow of traffic during the 2-day presidential visit. In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
In a bid to motivate and appreciate those who ensure daily cleanliness of the streets and roads across the metropolis, Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu has announced plans to increase the salaries and allowances of waste managers, especially street sweepers across the metropolis. Musa Toliat reports that the governor made the promise at a gathering organized by the Lagos Waste Management Authority to endorse him for a second term in office. The report.
Having completed their early morning domestic assignments across the state, these street sweepers and waste managers converged on Onikon Stadium to unanimously endorse Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu for a second term in office and canvass support for the presidential bid of Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Governor Sanwo-Olu, who spoke in indigenous language, said he is not unmindful of the stringent conditions street sweepers and cleaners work to ensure environmental cleanliness across the state. He however stressed that an increment in salary and allowances for them may not measure up to the sacrifice they make, but it will be a symbol of appreciation of their selfless services to the state. His deputy, Abafemi Hamzat, summed up the thoughts of Lagos State government on the rally.
We must get the right people in there, and we are saying Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the best out of the pack.
There were reactions from the leadership of the Lagos Waste Management Authority and some civil society groups in environmental advocacy.
When it comes to environment, it's what you throw at it that you get. If someone has thrown the best at the environment, and we are getting the best out of it. After this day, we are going out there, door to door, to campaign, to talk to people. If every Nigerian can cast their vote for Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu, what we have in Lagos State, what we have in Ogun State, shall be replicated
all over Nigeria. We are telling you to come and vote for someone that you can consistently see the progress in his track record.
The event was not devoid of side attractions and entertainment. In Lagos, Musa Tolian, NTA News.
Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed says the late Nigerian's ambassador to Spain, Ademola Seriki, was a patriotic Nigerian who served his fatherland with pride. The minister stated this when he visited
by the head of Chancery in the embassy, Hawa Kwanga, along with other staff.
We'll go on a short break now. More reports afterwards. Do stay tuned.
Are you looking for spacious, serene, beautiful and comfortable environment for your event? Then NTA Lagos Channel 10 premises is the place with about 3,065 capacity. NTA Lagos Channel 10 premises provides a well-secured land and car parking lot for your wedding reception, birthday party, church, end of the year event. Our conference hall is convenient for company annual general meetings, lectures, seminars, or workshops. With just 150,000 naira only, you can use our entire space and also have your event covered and aired on our social diary program, Maryland. For more inquiries, please contact our marketing department, NTA Lagos Channel 10, Tejesho, or call our telephone number, Chibuzo 0812-324-5519, Gmo 0803-830-1669. NTA Lagos Channel 10 services, affordable just for you.
You're welcome back. 40 years of professionalism in the broadcast industry is no mean feat. To celebrate this remarkable juncture on her career, Hajia Amina Mohammed launched a book titled Whispering of the Broadcast Drill. Larry Beleyi, who was at the ceremony, brings details.
The celebration gave room for the veterans in the broadcast industry to have their voice to contending issues in the industry, especially that revolving around post-COVID-19 content production. Issues ranging from unrestrained information dissemination on social media to the role of women in the broadcast industry were all discussed and are contained in the book.
So I believe that the rules should be a bit flexible with the women in media and broadcasting, to the extent that they will actually be able to take care of other things that really draw women a bit back. You know that most of the time the media job goes well into the night sometimes. So I believe that if they are allowed to have flexible hours of work, so far they deliver the job.
The 150-page book, Whispers of a Broadcast Jewel, unveiled as part of the highlights of the program. It is a compendium of Hajia Amina Mohammed's experience in the broadcast industry.
And since I met her, she's been consistent in what she's doing in the area of programming.
By this book, I think it's going to be like it's an archive of her experience in the industry. She was coming true to her elements, which is she believes in what she's doing. She believes that the best way can do is to lead by example.
Student journalism, it has become all commerce and people now do whatever they like. But we of old, that they call old school, we still take on some of these ethics to be able to sieve the good from the bad, and we're able to really do the right thing.
Awards were presented to distinguished personalities, organizations, mentors, sponsors, and professional colleagues, in which NTA was among. In Lagos, Larry Beleyi, NTA News.
January is believed to be, by many to be the longest and toughest month financially. For others, this assumption is primarily because it begins the year and comes just after the Yuletide when a lot of money has been spent. While the truths or myths about January is still being debated, our correspondent spoke with Lagos residents on how they are coping in the month. People plan for high spending at the end of the year during the Yuletide without recourse to its impact on the new year. While some blame themselves afterwards, others blame January as a month of hardship.
Every January used to be like that because you prepare for Christmas, buy things, shoppings and other things.
Why? Because there's a lot of financial burden in January.
In some parts of the city, the crowds that used to throng most business centers before and after the festivities have thinned out.
See that in fact value everywhere is counting, and the low toll of customers is affecting it because
how reserve. You should understand that January is a started a month that you are going to start a new plan,
begin to change our ways. While you're in December, begin to plan for January. I think that's the only way to make January short. Is that short?
Respondents conclude that definitely, if there was reckless spending in the Yuletide, there must be attendant hardship afterwards. They, however, say proper planning should be adopted by all to reduce the hardship that comes afterwards. The fear of Allah and the need for Muslim Ummah to uphold trust at all times was the crux of today's Jumat sermon at Esinoluwa Yobere Central Mosque in the Tetusho area of Lagos State. Abdul Wahid Bibires reports that the Islamic cleric also admonished the worshippers to be their brother's keepers. The reports. Nigerian male artist Oluwatosin Oluwole breaks silence following rumored breakup with Temi Otedola. Plus, David Crosby dies at age 81. Omolola Ebenezer has more details.
Oluwatosin Ajibade, popularly known as Mr. Easy, has debunked rumor of breakup with his fiancée, Temi Otedola. It should be recalled that Temi Otedola penned a note while sharing a teary face a few days ago, sparking rumor of an engagement breakdown. However, the 30-year-old singer retweeted his fiancée's tweet with praising hands emoji in response to the tweet, where she announced an ambassadorial deal. Habib Okikioluwa, with the stage name Possible, took to his Instagram to express his annoyance at TJ Omori for the sky-high price that comes with his service. In the screenshot shared, it was disclosed that TJ Omori had charged Possible a whopping fee of $50,000 for his service. The Zazu Chroma relentlessly asking if the director shoots for Ghost, as he wondered who would pay such amounts. Meanwhile, TJ Omori revealed that he shot Possible's Zazu video for free, and the $50,000 he charged him for the new video is at a discount price. Now to the foreign scene. David Crosby, bronze rock musician and co-founder of Crosby, Stills, Nash & Young, dies at age 81 after a long-time illness. In Lagos, Omolola Ebenezer, NTA News.
Sports update is next.
Nigeria Scrabble Federation is set to adopt an in-depth summary, analysis, player-by-player projection, word power, dexterity, game strength and experience on the board as yardsticks for selection of the country's team to the World Championship in Las Vegas, USA come July. The Federation has slated January 26 to 28 to conduct a 3-day national trials to select top 20 ranked players, with 3 female players and wild cards as only players who have competed in NSF-rated tournaments between January 1 and 22 were invited to the trials.
In this qualifier, the players are going to play about 30 games, all the top players. And the top or the best player after the 30 games will get an automatic slot, while the ratings will be done, and then the next 9 players will also be selected to represent the country.
At the ongoing Australian Open, Andy Murray dug deep to defeat Thanasi Kokinakis in a 5-set thriller that lasted 5 hours 45 minutes and reached the 4th round of the tournament. The 35-year-old endured the same fate, needing to go full stretch against Matteo Berrettini in the previous round, and next faces Roberto Bautista Agut on Saturday. In the meantime, American Sebastian Korda beat Daniil Medvedev 7-6, 6-3, 7-6, while there were victories for Iga Swiatek over Kristina Bishka 6-love, 6-1, and Coco Gauff also breezed into the 4th round. against Yelena Ostapenko. Moving on to football, Liverpool versus Chelsea is the pick of the pack in the English Premier League on Saturday as both sides attempt to bounce back from inconsistent performances this season. Also on Saturday, West Ham United entertain Everton, while attention shifts to the Emirates on Sunday when league leaders Arsenal welcome Manchester United. With sports updates, Ayodeji, Makinde, NTA News.
Let's now get the weather forecast for Lagos Metro, please. That's the news at 7 at NTA Lagos Channel 10. Thanks for watching. I am Ntamibe. Good evening.
Station Excellence.